No one realizes that Ariana Grande made 4 eerie sacrifices to truly become Glinda. Recently, the film Wicked, starring Ariana and Cynthia, had a global box office opening of over $160 million. However, Ariana's dedication to becoming Glinda has made sacrifices that might surprise her fans. First, she went through rigorous physical preparation. To match the image of Glinda in the film, she embarked on a year-long weight loss plan, following a balanced vegan diet and maintaining a consistent workout routine. In addition, she had to perform extensive skincare every day. She clarified on social media that her previous weight gain was due to medication. And although she appears thin now, she is very healthy, reassuring her fans. Second, she finalized her divorce with her ex-husband, Dalton Gomez. Before she went to London to shoot the movie, they had encountered issues, and the distance made it impossible to resolve. This eventually led to their divorce. Third, she spent months undergoing vocal training. To adapt her voice to the character's requirements, she continuously worked with vocal coaches, transitioning from her typical pop style to a more classical Broadway style. Finally, Ariana worked hard to shed the image of pop star EERIE. She transformed her personality and behavior to fully embody Glinda.
My name is Oshun. On this channel, we uncover the creepiest, most unusual haunted TikToks the internet has to offer for entertainment purposes. Y'all are my soul tribe. Tribe is with a Y because the Y is for you, and that's because I love you so freaking much. Oh, child, I love y'all so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe to The Soul Trap for your weekly dose of supernatural, coming to you every Sunday and Thursdays. Let me know in the comments how you feeling today. What's your zodiac sign? Team Gemini? Now let's get to this video. She fully became that character and lives her life as Glinda. The fuck? That's weird. Like, you can look at her and tell something ain't right, and not in a good way. She admits to being a real witch in real life. She looks like a witch. Her skin changed, her weight. I mean, they just explained the weight loss, but I ain't gonna weight shame nobody, okay? We don't do that around here. We don't shame anybody for anything. We just give our opinions. That's about it. But honey, her and what's the other one's name? I've never even seen the movie. I'm going to go ahead and say that. I may be the first in the world who have never seen Wicked, ever. None of them. I don't know how many there are. Never seen it. But even the black girl, she embodied her character, and she lives her life as that character every day, all day as well. Beautiful, beautiful woman, but kind of creepy. It is what it is. Okay, next video.
Yeah, so back in our party.
I would love to know more about that story, okay? We're gonna have to find that interview. I'm gonna go on YouTube and look for it, because that was very interesting, and I wholeheartedly believe him. And I would love to know who the young lady was, and the mother who offered herself as a sacrifice for her daughter to excel in the industry. Who is it? I want to know. That's crazy. Crazy. To each his own.
Scary. They can't control you. They can't. They try to suppress you, but that's how they try to categorize.
They can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me.
Not
You see,
you.
it ain't no name I won't name. It's up.
No, you.
You know what I'm saying? And just for Minister Farrakhan, I love you, but the way you read that, I took that as a slight. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking no disrespect from nobody, so let's get on the phone and let's talk that out. I don't care who you are. I ain't taking no slights from nobody, right? I ain't taking no slights from nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Me too.
You understand?
Yeah, I'm Christian.
Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You know, out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize. And God loved me. You understand? They hit me. Gap, Adidas, all that away. Still, Forbes, who hate me, right, had to write net worth 400 million. Jesus is king.
Ye for president.
Pay close attention to what I'm about to share with you. This is no disrespect to Hollywood. This is just for educational purposes only. What's the purpose of the red carpet? A lot of you didn't know this, and I know you didn't. We see it all the time on TV, Access Hollywood, TMZ, walking the red carpet, the Oscars. There's a deeper, sinister reason for this. They've already took an oath. They've already sold their souls to walk the red carpet. Here's the deeper, sinister meaning. They took a vow and an oath, shedded blood to walk the red carpet, which represents blood. The red carpet, yes, represents blood. I will walk that trail of blood to success, wherever that leads to. I don't care if I have to do a homosexual ritual. I don't have to, if I have to sell my own soul and take the souls of others, if I have to kill a family member, if I have to eat feces and drink urine, I'm going to walk that red carpet to success. Whoever I hurt, it doesn't matter. Whoever I step on, I'm going to stay on the red carpet. Because the red carpet is a trail of blood leading to success. It means something, y'all. It's just not on the red carpet for no reason. It's called the red carpet because it represents a trail of blood to success. And you are willing to do anything, and I do mean anything. Ain't that right, Jennifer Hudson? Ain't that right, Michael Jordan? Ain't that right, Tony Dungy? Ain't that right, Angela Bassett? Ain't that right, Regina King, Denzel Washington? Ain't that right? Ain't that right, Steph Curry? Ain't that right, LeBron James? Ain't that right? You're willing to walk that red carpet, that trail of blood, whatever it takes to walk that trail of blood, wherever it leads, it don't matter. I want to stay famous. I want to stay rich. I want to stay in the limelight. I want to stay seen, even if I have to put on a dress. I'm walking that red carpet. Y'all don't understand. Before they even walk on the red carpet, they've already been in the back doing rituals before they even step on the red carpet. Yeah, because it means something. It means something sinister. Y'all stay woke.
I believe it. I heard that before. I completely believe it and agree. I know some people personally who have walked the red carpet, so now I'm side-eyeing them. Okay.
Stephanie Germanotta, otherwise known as Lady Gaga. It's been a while since anyone has seen her in the public eye, and I wondered for a while why that was the case. Was she working on movies, working on some fashion, taking some time off, enjoying her money? Maybe. Or maybe she was blackballed. The word on the street, allegedly, is that she would not, and I quote, play the game anymore. What does that mean? She didn't want to play the game anymore. You mean she wouldn't allow you guys to brutally blank, blank, blank her and blank, blank, blank her anymore? She wasn't okay with the games anymore? So I guess when you are no longer willing to comply, you are no longer hot and no longer cutting edge and no longer happening anymore. So they kind of fizzle you out and blackball you and say that you've become difficult to work with and that you are no longer cutting edge and no one's looking for you anymore. Bullcrap. Lady Gaga was huge. She was slated to be the next Madonna. But there were so many different things going on with her personally. The rituals, the occult, the Illuminati, satanic involvement in the witch's coven, allegedly. All of these things going on behind the scenes. Real deep stuff. And it caught up to her. Allegedly, the word is that she had a nervous breakdown and she was no longer able to function. From the alcohol, from the drugs. I cannot say allegedly because this is the word in the street, but allegedly she had a breakdown and could no longer cope with the mechanisms of this industry. Very dysfunctional industry. She was a simple girl. I think she's from Jersey, I think. Stephanie Germanotta was a nice girl from Jersey at one point. But it's deeper than that. See, she sacrificed her best friend and assumed her energy and her spirit. I don't know if you guys know that, but that's the word, that she sacrificed her own best friend for fame and fortune. So I think it was time to collect on that contract she signed with you know who. Yeah. Get in the comments, let's talk about this.
Yeah, I just found out about that maybe like 6 months ago, and probably maybe a year ago, and I'm sure I probably heard it in the past, but I didn't, but yeah, she had a best friend. Her best friend was the creative one, was the one that was like doing all the weird, crazy stuff with the colors and the theatrics and things of that nature. And like, she got rid of her, consumed her soul, her energy or whatever, and basically became her. Even her name, Lady Gaga, the lady's stage name was very similar, something like that. But that's very sad. And people gonna do what they gonna do, what they gotta do. If they trying to, they empty inside and want to get to the top, nothing's gonna stop them. Except the devil when he come collect.
When you start connecting the dots, it seems like both Aaliyah and Lisa had some sort of gut feeling or premonition shortly before their tragic end. Now let's talk about music video director Hype Williams, because he's another piece of the puzzle connecting Lisa Left Eye and Aaliyah. So just before her passing, Aaliyah started shooting the video for Rock the Boat with Hype, and they kicked off filming in Miami. But then, out of the blue, Hype decided to shift the production to the Bahamas. Aaliyah's ex Dame Dash spilled the beans later on, revealing that he had warned her against getting on that plane because he felt Hype had no reason to pressure her to fly to the Bahamas. Besides that, Dame claimed that Lenny Kravitz offered Aaliyah his private jet, but Hype allegedly took it from her.
I knew that was going to happen. And then when she actually saw the plane, she, we had the Blackberries, and she said, "I don't like this plane." And I was like, "Well, don't get on it." What was really more tight about was that I had heard that Lenny Kravitz had offered her a jet and that Hype had took the jet. So that's what really pissed me off about the situation when I heard about that.
So with all these eerie coincidences stacking up, it's no wonder that fans and even some celebs have started tossing around the idea that Aaliyah's death might have been something more sinister, like an industry sacrifice. Also, let's not forget that Mary J. Blige literally called Aaliyah's spiritual murder.
I just know that was a murder. You know what I'm saying? That was a spiritual murder, whether people know it or not, because God don't kill people.
Now, why would Mary use the word murder to describe a plane accident? Well, we can only speculate, because Mary still refuses to explain what she meant by that. Now, as for Hype Williams and his connection to Lisa, these two crossed paths after teaming up for TLC's No Scrubs music video, as well as Lisa's solo debut, Block Party. But here's where things get really intriguing. According to an article by BET, Hype joined Lisa for a trip to Honduras in 2001, a year before her death. But they weren't just there to soak up the sun. Instead, they were reportedly on a mission to meet with Dr. Sebi, this Honduran healer who made quite the name for himself with his alternative healing methods. So Dr. Sebi stirred up quite a controversy with his unconventional beliefs, claiming he could cure any disease under the sun with nothing but herbs. He even denied that HIV caused AIDS and claimed a special diet could cure AIDS patients. Now, despite his controversial beliefs, Dr. Sebi managed to build himself quite the following, running a popular treatment center in Honduras before expanding his practice to New York City and LA. And get this, he even had some big-name clients, including Michael Jackson and John Travolta. Dr. Sebi eventually got slapped with an arrest in NYC for practicing medicine without a license. But since, legally speaking, his practice didn't exactly fall under the category of medicine, he managed to wiggle his way out of trouble. But fast forward to 2016, and Dr. Sebi found himself in hot water once again, this time down in Honduras, where he was accused of money laundering. And unfortunately, during his time in custody, Dr. Sebi fell ill with pneumonia and passed away. Now, it's unclear if Hype Williams and Lisa actually interacted with Dr. Sebi during their 2001 trip to Honduras, but a lot of fans have been giving Hype the side eye because both Aaliyah and Lisa were around him in their final days.
Robin Williams.
I also want to thank the Hollywood Foreign Press for acknowledging comedy. Jim, you know this. It's weird. Normally they look at comedians as like very special people. Thank you very much. And you allow us to be in the room with the adults. You nominate us. You even have a category for us, comedy and dancing. There's a lot of dancers who could have been up here tonight, but they didn't make it.
It's been almost a decade since we lost the beloved comedian Robin Williams, and while his death was officially attributed to suicide, some people still believe that Robin was the victim of a secret society, the same one that Jim Carrey tried to warn us about.
Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
Oh, you don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
The viral theory about Robin Williams' death being an Illuminati sacrifice stems from, believe it or not, a Family Guy episode. See, less than an hour before Robin's death was announced to the public, the animated sitcom The Family Guy aired a rerun in which Robin appears as a character who plays a role in Peter Griffin's attempted suicide.
Damn these hands.
Mwah! Well, I haven't been to temple in a while.
Now, many believe that this was just a bizarre coincidence, but after another comedy legend and Robin's longtime friend Jim Carrey started publicly talking about the Illuminati and Hollywood sacrifices, fans began to question the official narrative surrounding Robin's death. But how does Jim feel about what happened to Robin Williams? Does he actually think shadowy industry figures in Hollywood wanted to eliminate Robin?
Preliminary, and I again say preliminary, results of the forensic examination revealed supporting physical signs that Mr. Williams' life ended from asphyxia due to hanging.
To give you some context, Robin Williams was discovered dead at his residence in Paradise Cay, California on August 11, 2014. The final post-mortem examination report, which was made public in November 2014, determined that Robin took his own life through hanging. The report also stated that there was no alcohol or substances in his system, and the prescription drugs found were within therapeutic limits. According to the report, Robin had been battling depression and anxiety, but Robin's widow Susan Williams later said depression wasn't what took Robin, and she revealed that Robin had a debilitating brain disease called Lewy body dementia. But it didn't take long before different theories started popping up online. And like I said, people found it really suspicious that just half an hour before his death was announced, BBC 3 aired an episode of Family Guy that centered around Robin and featured a suicide attempt by the main character, Peter Griffin. In the
May you rest in peace, Robin Williams, one of the freaking funniest white men I've ever heard of. Okay, I'm just go ahead and say that. He is top dog. Top diggity dog. And Jim Carrey, of course. Will Ferrell, Seth Green, all of them niggas, white boys, okay? Funny is to me.
Other comics rising above me, and I never understood why them and not me, but then bam, reality smacks me in the face. I am so fucking naive. I was so naive in thinking that this was something special, that when a writer sweeps you off your feet and says, "Hey, you've got it, kid. Let's make you famous." You believe every word he's going to say to you. Because it's the words you've wanted to hear your entire life, right? I believe in you. As much as you believe in yourself. And you'll do just about anything in the world he asks of you, because fame encompasses judgment, right? And I feared judgment my entire life. That's why I wanted fame, because when you're famous, people see you as that, famous. They're not thinking all the other things I'm scared they're thinking, like that guy's a loser, or a drip, or a fucking faggot. They think, it's the guy from that thing. It's the funny guy. And I wanted so badly to be the funny guy. Fuck your red light, I'm finishing. So when this writer says he only works with wild ones and to face my own fears, well, it's not long before I'm round his house taking boatloads of drugs every single weekend. And isn't getting groomed magical? Before you realise you're actually getting groomed. Until you're passing out from GHB on his living room couch while he tears at your trousers with his disgusting hands. And you know it's wrong. Deep down what he's making you do. But you just keep going back. And you start to think, is my self-respect so fucking low? Is my lust for success so fucking high that I will repeatedly go back to this man's house and let him abuse me for a little heat and fame? Oh, you're a victim. You mustn't blame yourself. A good sentiment, really, but let's be honest, the fourth or fifth time you passed out round his and woken up with your dick in his mouth, you should probably think about not going back. But no, I just had to keep going. I just had to get fucking raped. Anything funny to say, boys?
That was deep. I hope copyright does not remove what I just watched, honey, because we need to see that. That was deep, deep. A Netflix series called Baby Reindeer from 2024 was exposing the rituals and the secrets of Hollywood, and the comedian was basically saying that he liked to party, and you got to tell Diddy no. Basically is what he was saying, okay? You got to tell him no. But, you know, like he said, if your lust for fame, success, and wealth is so high, and your self-esteem within you is so low, you know, you're going to do what you're going to do and just be high off the drugs and just act like going to another place in your mind, I guess. I don't know. But that was deep. I hope I get to keep that clip in this episode. Next video.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
I said, wow.
Because I seen a picture with him and
R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of it.
Bruh. The energy that I received from that video, and we already know Gilly, what happened to his son. And he trying to deny, I don't know nothing about, I wasn't nobody, da-da-da-da-da. Nigga, you gotta do better than that, because we don't believe you. And you gave up your son. And then what? You just start taking off. Now, I mean, you've been around for years, but you never really blew up until your son's life was taken. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Allegedly. Next video.
Celebrities who made a mysterious deal for fame.
Beyonce once said she becomes someone else when Sasha Fierce takes over. But some believe Sasha isn't just a stage persona. What if it's something more? Before Gaga became famous, a rising singer named Lena Morgana mysteriously disappeared. Some say Gaga didn't just take inspiration from her. Kanye once started to say, "I sold my," before stopping himself. What was he about to admit? She once wanted to be a gospel singer, but later said she made a deal to become famous instead. Was she joking or telling the truth? In a rare interview, Bob Dylan admitted he made a deal to reach the top. When asked with who, he simply said, "The chief commander of this world, and the one we can't see." The Weeknd completely changed his look and sound, and his new persona feels almost possessed. Even he admitted he made the deal for fame. His song Popular mentions what celebrities do to get famous.
Hey, best believe, sooner or later, Drake will be sacrificing his daddy. Best believe, you feel me? That's why you always see him, show him so much and talk about him so much. They letting y'all know that this the person he really loved. So when his sacrifice come back around, it's going to be his daddy he going to knock off. His daddy or his son, but it's most likely it's going to be his daddy. Y'all already know they stay sacrificing their parents. Kanye West already told y'all Hollywood sacrificed his mama, Jordan's son, all this, woo-woo. That's what they do, you feel me? It's going to be Drake daddy next, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, mark my words. Remember I told y'all, he going to off his daddy. The same way the baby did his daddy and his brother and all them. His brother, the baby brother was trying to tell y'all before he knocked himself off. It's a lot going on in Hollywood, man. For these people to stay up afloat, stay who they is, they got to sacrifice motherfuckers. They got to do humiliation rituals. They got to do weird shit. This is how the game go, you feel me? It's controlled by nothing but Jewish people. Pay attention.
I mean, I know he had to pass, but I think he was murdered. And the fact that he was murdered is a searing kind of pain. I mean, have you dealt with that? Have you accepted the fact he was murdered?
No, because I'm a very optimistic person to the sense that I don't look at the real bad part of it. I look at no matter what happened to my father, he's not here.
Yeah.
So he's passed to me. I want to look at it in a good sense.
Yesterday, the Charlotte Observer reported that Hugh Rogers, the attorney for one of the teenagers accused of killing James Jordan, has new information concerning the case. Rogers now believes that the two suspects are innocent, that someone else murdered James Jordan, and then the two teens stumbled upon the James Jordan's car. He declined to give further detail.
Police findings seem to confirm the idea that they had yesterday that this was merely a random act of violence and not a premeditated murder. Again, throughout the morning, we'll continue to bring you the latest information we have on the arrest of two suspects in the murder of James Jordan. Now, private funeral services will be held this afternoon in Wallace, North Carolina.
And Tom Steiner is here with sports, and Michael Jordan seems to be dealing with the tragedy of his father's death quite well.
Yeah, he says he and his family are coping very well in the aftermath of his father's tragic death. And Michael Jordan faced the cameras in a packed news conference this morning, but the media was asked to limit their questions to the benefit tournament he is playing in this weekend in suburban Washington, D.C. Jordan said he committed to this Pro-Am event and wanted to keep his word. Besides, being around quality people in time of need only aids in the recovery process.
I saw Michael Jordan. I met Michael Jordan at this Michael Jordan party. It was at his party. And I never, I know it's rumors that I asked him for an autograph and he said no, or like, that's a lie. I saw Michael Jordan. I'm at a party and I don't ask nobody for nothing. I never do. I don't like when people overly do it to me. I had saw Michael Jordan taking pictures with girls. He was like, you know, and I ain't mad at it. He's taking pictures with people, you know what I'm saying? And he's taking pictures and he just, every now and then taking pictures, you know what I'm saying? So then later on, you know what I'm saying? I seen him and he was like, oh, there go Mike. And he was standing over there. He was with some of the Boston Celtics. He was with Spike Lee. He was with, I don't know, some other people. And I was just like, man, this is just that one moment where I'm going to say, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to go say, I'm going to ask Mike for a picture. And then I said, I went over there and I said, hey, fellas, you know, nobody was talking. They was just chilling, whatever, right? And I was just like, man, I don't mean to be rude, but Mike, I just want to know if I could get a picture. And then, now I understand, I kind of expected him to say no. So I wasn't mad if he said no, but the way he said it, he said, oh, hell nah, man, I ain't taking no pictures of no niggas. And he said it like that, and I was like, I kind of got stunned for a second, because I was like, wait a second, I don't think he heard. I turned back, and my boys were just looking at me like, damn, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of thought that he didn't hear what I said, and I was like, keep in mind, I had just came from a Reggie Bush event. Everybody knows about the Michael Jordan jersey, right? Me and Reggie Bush was doing this event, right? And he was auctioning off these jerseys. So I had to keep on raising my hand and bidding for these jerseys, right? And it was a Michael Jordan jersey, an Allen Iverson autograph, the Shaq, a Vince Carter. There was a whole bunch of jerseys, right? And I kept raising my hand. It was like 1,000. I raised my hand. They said 2,000. And some dude raised his hand. And they said 3,000. I raised my hand. They said 4,000. We kept going back and forth. And then I finally went over to him at 7,000. It was like, hey, man, stop raising your hand, man. You don't want them jerseys. And he was like, I said, man, how about we stop and then we both split the jerseys at 7,000 and we split the money. And he was like, all right, cool. So we didn't raise our hands no more. And then they said, sold to Chameleonaire and that guy right there for $7,000. So the guy tells me that he wasn't even tripping. He didn't even want to get the jerseys. He was just trying to show off to Kim Kardashian, who was on the stage. I was like, man, this dude that made me pay $7,000 for these jerseys, and he didn't even want the jerseys. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, whatever, right? I'm telling Michael the story. I'm like, I just bid $7,000 for a Michael Jordan jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then he goes, you know what? I'll tell you what. You pay $15,000 right now for a jersey from me, and I'll take a picture with you. And keep in mind, Michael Jordan's real tall. He's looking down on me, and I'm looking up at him like, man, I've never been so heated in my life, man. My heart just started racing like, I'm about to steal off on this fool. And I thought about all the times when I used to pause the little video game or the basketball game and draw the picture of this dude dunking. I thought about all the times when I seen John Starks come baseline and just dunk on them fools. I thought about the time when Allen Iverson crossed him over, and I was like, what? Jordan, how you let Allen Iverson cross you over? Like, big Michael Jordan fan. And it's just the way he did it. And then, who was it? Paul Pierce. So one of them was like, yo, hey man, chill out. That's Chameleonaire, man. He was like, I don't give up. And he cursed. He said, I don't give up, nigga. And I was like, and then you know what I did? I just sat there for a second. I just sat there and looked at him, and then I turned to Spike Lee and I said, you know what? I appreciate it, bro. That's all good. And I shook Spike Lee's hand, and they all had to look like, man, you know, that's just how Mike is. You know what I'm saying? I shook everybody's hand, and then I walked off, and then Ray Allen was over there, and Ray Allen was like, hey man, he took a picture with me. I guess they was kind of do it because they kind of felt kind of like a certain way or something. You know, I took a picture with Paul Pierce and everything, but it wasn't really even that big a deal. I expected him to say no. It's just the way he said it. It was the most rudest. I'm probably not even repeating it as mean as he said it. So after that, I was like, wow, man, this dude must really be, he must feel a certain way inside where he just treat people like that. And keep in mind, when I used to stay in Chicago, a lot of y'all know about I used to stay in Chicago, the people that I used to stay with, they used to tell me all the time that Michael Jordan is bad, man. He just be smoking weed, cursing all day. I didn't believe it. I was like, no way, not Michael. You know what I'm saying? Because the image that he portrayed. And then it was like, they knew because they used to clean his cars. They used to.
That interview is so intriguing to me. For one, I wonder what happened to Chameleonaire. I wonder, when did this interview take place? Is this the reason why he like disappeared off the face of the map? Hope you ain't see that. I just spit goddamn juicy water in my mouth. Okay. But yeah, I wonder, did this interview happen while his career was still, you know, in its peak, I would say. And because he just disappeared. Do you guys even remember Chameleonaire? Do you remember his music? He had like maybe 2, maybe 3 good songs. I can't remember them at the top of my head, but that's interesting. And people killing themselves, going crazy over Jordans, and that nigga don't give 2 fucks about the community, okay? A lot of these rich and wealthy, famous, influential people, they don't give a shit about you, but you lose your mind and your life over them, okay? Make it make sense. Next video.
Most feared men in Hollywood. They don't like me in Hollywood.
Why do they not like you?
I don't wear dresses. I don't do that gay stuff on TV. They had to get some other black person to do that stuff. I'm talking, that's gunning. But they all confess they love the Lord. But you cannot compromise yourself if you love the Lord. So I play tough guys, but young kids want to be soldiers. Young kids don't want to follow a guy to wear a dress. You know what I'm talking about.
No wonder Cynthia Erivo was able to transform from an ugly duckling into a black swan. No one can endure the 3 great sacrifices she has made. Once, Cynthia's agency made her wear cheap and ugly dresses, and she was laughed at by everyone. Now, she has transformed into a black swan, but no one knows how much she has sacrificed behind the scenes. First of all, the clothes she wears often come with sharp and heavy decorations. For instance, the metal pieces on her dress were eye-catching, but kept rubbing against her skin. The high heels she wore had thin and tall heels, putting tremendous pressure on her feet when she walked. Every step was like walking on the tip of a knife, yet she maintained her elegance throughout and endured the physical pain in silence. Secondly, in an environment dominated by white aesthetics in Hollywood, she boldly incorporated African cultural elements. Many producers thought her style was too niche. However, she didn't compromise. She stuck to her own style and gave up many opportunities. Finally, every time she made an appearance, she was scrutinized by the public. People criticized her for dressing too extravagantly and weirdly, saying that her style deviated from traditional aesthetics. She had to constantly adjust her mindset to face the negative comments. The harsh criticism even caused her to suffer from depression. However, she has now undergone a remarkable transformation.
Cynthia, my bad, beautiful, that I could not remember your name in the beginning of this episode. But y'all see what I'm talking about. She's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. But she definitely embodied that character and has become that character from Wicked and lives her life as that character, my opinion. Next video.
When these rappers get not incidental, somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts.
That means every time an album gets sold, TLC gets 56 cents. So 10 million records. $5.6 million. Seems like a lot of money. Well, it's not a lot of money when the record company has spent $3 million to record your album.
How come you guys didn't include the Clive Davis, pulling a out on Clive Davis' part in the biopic?
Well, first of all, we didn't pull out any on Clive, and we did have a moment, but you got to keep in mind it's hard to tell every little detail.
It's been over 2 decades since we lost 1/3 of the iconic TLC, Lisa Left Eye Lopez, and her loss is still felt in the music scene. And to this day, theories about the bizarre accident that took Lisa's life are drawing attention. Not just from fans, but also from industry heavyweights like Cat Williams, who seem to think that a lot of these so-called accidents in the entertainment world are not accidental at all. Lisa lost her life in 2002 in a tragic car crash in Honduras, and as news of Lisa's passing spread, whispers started swirling that the official narrative of her death didn't add up. Some folks in the industry even began drawing connections between Lisa's untimely demise and the tragic loss of Aaliyah, who passed away almost a year to the day before Lisa. And here's where it gets even more intriguing. New details have recently emerged suggesting that Lisa's death could be linked to something darker. Rumors of industry sacrifice and names like Clive Davis are being tossed around. So what's the real deal behind Lisa Left Eye's death? Did Cat Williams really confirm this was another industry sacrifice? Let's get into it.
He goes up and up and up. So they this $20 million guy, but they reach $60 million in benefits.
Lisa Left Eye Lopez, alongside her bandmates T-Boz and Chili, made up the iconic R&B group TLC, and together they ruled the late 90s and early 2000s music scene with infectious beats and unapologetic attitude. But at the height of all the fame and glory, tragedy struck with a devastating blow on April 25th, 2002. On that day, Lisa's life was tragically cut short in a car accident while she was in Honduras. Lisa was in Honduras on a 30-day spiritual retreat, seeking comfort and peace after going through some messy situations in both her personal and professional life. So on April 25th, 2002, Lisa was off to shoot some video footage with her friends and a few locals in Honduras. She decided to take the wheel of a rented SUV, but as they were cruising along a calm country road in perfect weather, Lisa suddenly lost control of the vehicle and slammed into a tree. The aftermath was devastating. Lisa was gone in an instant, but miraculously, all the other passengers managed to survive. Now here's where it gets even more surreal. Lisa's friends, who were tagging along to capture footage for her documentary, ended up recording the whole tragic incident on camera.
Yeah, that is so sad. That is so sad. My apologies for not having all the parts. You can research that and see that video. I've seen it several times. And yeah, it's the passenger recording her and then like looking around out the car, and then you hear Left Eye like scream a little bit like, oh, and then you just hear and the camera just, and then it just goes out. But perfect weather. Literally no reason why she should have crashed. And then not to mention the only person who passes away. How many instances does this happen in the industry? Most recently, example, Miss Angie Stone. Like, then Bobby Brown was just on Shay Shay, Club Shay Shay. He spoke of how his best friend was murdered. They were in a Bentley together. 178 shots lit up that mother freaking car, and he didn't get touched not one time. He said, I didn't get a scratch. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Biggie, Tupac situation. That car riddled with bullets. Suge, untouched. Like, there's so many instances where it's a car crash or something that's tragic where multiple people should have been injured or reported to, death. But for whatever reason, it's always only the celebrity that is extinct off the planet. Okay, it's not funny, but I don't know. But you reached the end of another video. Thank you for being with me, y'all. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I do not take it for granted at all. Y'all are my soul tribe, baby. I love you to the down deep, to the pit of my booty hole, okay? I do, actually a little bit lower, to the testicles of the dog that I don't even have no more, okay? I love the crap that comes from the mother freaking sewer underneath your, I don't know. That was crazy, okay? We're not gonna go there. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. No girl talk today. Just live your life. Don't let nobody control your life. Do what you are here to do. Find your purpose. Live in your purpose. Ask for guidance. Ask for direction. Ask for protection. Ask for joy, love, and kindness to enter into your atmosphere, and make sure you admit that everywhere you go. If everyone was just kind to the neighbor and, you know, surround folks, life would be better. That's my opinion. Kindness is free. There's a difference between being kind and being nice. Nice is just, oh, that's cool, that was nice, that's a gesture. Kindness comes from inside. Okay? And a lot of people don't know how to achieve that. They know how to be nice, but they don't know how to be kind. Kindness is genuality. It's from inside, and it's free. But anyway, y'all, we at the end, and it's a holiday for those who are Christians. I don't partake, but enjoy your day, enjoy your family, enjoy the good food that you guys may be eating, and yeah. Ashe, I'm out.
Open my third eyes on my way. I'ma open my one eye, be in the you on my body, but I'm not a Christian. I'm not a religion, but you two are true. If you see, I know